Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing about the Uzbekistan-Afghanistan-Pakistan, that is the UAP rail project. Why is that so? That is because presently Pakistan and Afghanistan have agreed to advance this project. Yes, it had come to a standstill. That is, of course, because of the issues that is going on between Pakistan and Afghanistan. However, they have now decided to keep their issues aside and moved ahead with this particular project. So what is the news all about? The news is about Pakistan and Afghanistan agreeing to move forward with the UAP project. That means what? Uzbekistan, of course, was always up for it. Even Pakistan and Afghanistan were. However, the relationship had become sour between Pakistan and Afghanistan, as a result of which this project was at a standstill and nothing had happened in that. However, now both the countries are wanting to keep the issues aside. The issues can be dealt separately is what they are thinking now, and moving ahead with this particular project. Now, what is this UAP rail project? So the UAP rail project is a railway track project. So the railway track is going to be rolled out so as to have better connectivity. It will connect Pakistan, Afghanistan and Uzbekistan. So it will connect all the three countries. It aims to enhance trade. So when connectivity is there, the trade can be faster, smoother, more efficient. Railway is also a quite cheap source of transportation. So it will enhance the trade, the transport, and lead to economic integration across the Central and South Asia. So economic integration among the countries will also happen with the help of this. And it is quite strategic for the landlocked Central Asia to access the Arabian seaports. So it is absolutely very important for landlocked countries. Now, even if you talk about these three countries that are involved, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, here also two of the three countries are landlocked. Afghanistan is a landlocked country. At the same time, Uzbekistan is also a landlocked country. In fact, Uzbekistan is a doubly landlocked country. So first, what is a landlocked country? A landlocked country is a country which is surrounded by land mass only. That means it is surrounded by other countries and does not have any access or any side open to any ocean whatsoever. That is a landlocked country. So what is a doubly landlocked country? Now in doubly landlocked country, what happens? Of course, this particular country is going to be surrounded by other countries. Now these other countries will also not have any access to any kind of ocean. That's when this country is going to become doubly landlocked country. Now Uzbekistan is one of the two doubly landlocked country in the world, the other being Liechtenstein. Now, as a result of this landlocked nature, this project becomes of utmost importance for Afghanistan and Uzbekistan. And of course, it is important for Pakistan as well, because it is talking about enhancing the trade. And of course, Pakistan is in dire need of improving their economy by improvement in trade, so on and so forth. So this project has significance for all the three nations involved. Now, what has been the recent diplomatic breakthrough which led to this? The breakthrough was the phone call that took place between the Deputy Prime Minister and who also happens to be the Finance Minister of Pakistan, that is Ishaq Dar. So this person, Ishaq Dar, and Amir Khan Muttaqi, that is the acting Finance Minister of Afghanistan. After which, subsequent to which, or during that call, because of that call, there has been an agreement to finalize the framework for the UAP project. Now, presently as we speak, there is a discussion that is going on with respect to the signing ceremony for this project. Now, why to have such a grand ceremony? Of course, it's a big project for them, that is there. At the same time, there has been animosity between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So now that they're agreeing to go ahead, keeping these animosity aside, they want to create a big fanfare about that to win trust with respect to each other, so on and so forth. Now, what is the process so far that has been done? So Pakistan, since it was not going ahead with it, it reviewed its decision on April 19th when Dar visited Kabul. So when Dar visited Afghanistan, they reviewed their decision, and Pakistan subsequently announced upgradation of diplomatic ties with Afghanistan, means having better at a higher level of diplomatic tie with Afghanistan. And once Pakistan did that, Afghanistan also reciprocated and agreed for ambassador level representation. I hope that's clear. So it's a mutual thing that is happening over here. Moving ahead, what is the significance of this project? Of course, the most important thing, it promotes regional connectivity. It will reduce dependence on longer maritime routes. So if this land route is not available, a longer maritime route need to be traversed, which will lead to delay in the trade practices. So this shortens that. It also enhances South Asian markets for Central Asian republics. So higher amount of integration will be there among these Asian nations. So it is a project whose members are UAP, that is Uzbekistan, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Now, interestingly, the gauges of the railway is given over here, a small minute thing, but it's important for you to know. It is a 1520 mm gauge in Afghanistan, 1676 in Pakistan and 1435 in Afghanistan. Now, what is this gauge? So this is the railway track running parallel, and these are the sleepers that are there, right? So this gauge means nothing but the distance between these two tracks, over which, so one side of the wheel will be on this side, the other on this. So the distance is the gauge of the railway, is what we are basically talking about. Now, which is said to be over here 1.52 meters, this is 1.67 meters, this is 1.435 meters. So just you know that. Now the length of this is total of 573 kilometers. The project will cost around $7 billion and it will last for about 5 years, or it will rather take 5 years to complete this entire project. I hope that's clear. Once done, it will have a capacity to trade about 20 million tons of goods. Now, when Pakistan is involved, of course, China cannot stay away. In fact, in any business going around the world, China would want to poke its nose, definitely. Same is the case here. China is facilitating the dialogue through trilateral mechanism. So here Uzbekistan is not involved. Here you have China, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Why China is getting involved? China is sort of playing a mediator, a counselor. As I said, there were issues with respect to the relation of Pakistan and Afghanistan. So China is acting as a mediator to thaw those issues and acting as a facilitator for the dialogue between the two nations. So what has been the issue? The issue, very interestingly, see, Pakistan is known for state-sponsored terrorism. Yes. We have seen the recent terrorist attack that took place in India. Again, state-sponsored terrorism came into picture over there as well. Now, interestingly, when it comes to issues between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it is Pakistan who is blaming Afghanistan for terrorism happening in Pakistan. It is pinpointing at the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is nothing but the Taliban of Pakistan. Now, Taliban, of course, we know the Afghanistan Taliban. There is another Taliban which is known as Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Now, Pakistan says that Afghanistan gives shelter to this Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which then carries out terrorist attacks in Pakistan region, in Pakistan country. So that is the issue which was going on, among various other things, as a result of which animosity was there, in which China is playing a middleman, or you can say a mediatory role in facilitating this, because Chinese regional strategy will also be boosted if this gets materialized. Because of course here to Pakistan, when it's a $7 billion project, some amount of money will come from Pakistan. Again, China will offer to help in the form of loans and will get involved, will use those lines also in the future, will also have deployed their military also, and take control as if it is their own project. Now, with respect to security and political context of UAP, I told you about the TTP safe haven acquisition. So relation between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it started because of TTP safe haven acquisition, wherein Pakistan accused Afghanistan for acting as a safe haven for Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, that is TTP. At the same time, Presently, what has happened, they have kept these issues aside. So now what we can see is a rebuild of the mutual trust and cooperation, and this particular project is viewed as the confidence building measure between the two nations of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Now, with respect to Uzbekistan's involvement, yes, this is the third nation that is involved. So its prime minister held a separate call with Ishaqdar, of course, because these two only, Afghanistan and Pakistan, cannot decide over here. So Uzbekistan also had a conversation with Pakistan based on this to discuss the modalities, coordination, framework, etc. Of course, this shows Uzbekistan's commitment for this particular cross-border project to go ahead. Now, the question is, what are the implications of for India of this particular project? Right. Now, one thing we know is India is, of course, not a part of UAP, right? Basically, what is happening is the regional bypassing of India. So nothing will, because nothing, not nothing, but instead of things going from this, what is going to happen over here is India is completely bypassed over here. That is clear, right? Secondly is strategic concern for India's Connect Asia policy. Now, India also wants to connect. Now, how can India connect over here? Now, here, if you see, Afghanistan also borders India. But this is the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This is LOC, this is LAC. So, India also wants access to this particular region, this particular Central Asian region, for which it is going for INSTC, the INSTC corridor, which is now going to happen. India need to work more on that in order to gain access to Central Asia, because what happens is with the UAP project, if you look at the UAP project, this is Pakistan here, this is Afghanistan here, and this is Uzbekistan here. So this is the line that is going to go and give access in different Central Asian country for Pakistan, Afghanistan, as well as Uzbekistan. So what will happen is strategic concern for India is the connectivity to Central Asia over here, as a result of which India should now fasten the pace or accelerate the Chabahar port and the INSTC connectivity, Chabahar port in Iran as well as the INSTC connectivity, in order to stamp its authority in Central Asia. Thank you.